When Evolve was announced for the PS4, PC, and Xbox One, it generated a ton of hype. One of the reasons for this was because it's one of the first games that looks like it comes out with something new. It promises to blend PvP and PvE elements into one game that's only multiplayer. Since its announcement, other games have also announced a 4v1 kind of element. One of these is Dying Light. I just finished playing the beta on PS4, and I'm going to give you guys my true opinions on if I think you should cancel your pre-order or stick with it.
Remember to use support's cloak ability.
In my time with Evolve, I was able to play with the 4 base characters of each class and one extra guy, whose name is Bucket, and that's the character I'm playing right now. Something I really liked about each character is that they all feel super different, besides their mobility, and I'll get to that a bit later. But this guy right now, his name is Bucket, he's the one extra class, and his first and his primary weapon is this directed rocket. It's really good for shooting long-range missiles at the monster as they run away, or just two-shotting some of the wildlife that you run into. I was surprised how each character proved to be super different from one another. Like, Bucket is a support class character, and the other one that I played, I can't remember his name right now, the kind of hick dude, they have very different abilities. Like, one has an orbital strike, and Bucket can set up turrets. You know, each of those are applicable to different situations, and that's what you kind of want. So I was really impressed with how they diversified the classes and diversified the gameplay there. So here's an example of one of the other classes doing what they're supposed to do, which is the Trapper, and they have this dome that they lay down if they catch the monster in a bad spot or out of position. And so this guy was really low health. We had tracked him down for a while, and he wasn't able to evolve anywhere. So I just start setting up my turrets, throwing them. I don't know how to play this guy, and you know, we end up killing him, but it just kind of shows you other people doing what they're supposed to do at the right time. Like, there's harpoons going on. There's a lot of diversity to all of the classes, and if they synergize well, the monster's going to have a really hard time doing anything super well. Like right now, he's targeting me when he should be going after the medic. In my opinion, that's my strategy with the monster, or maybe the assault guy. But that's one of the great things about this game, is that it offers the ability to change up your tactics as the monster to target different people. Like right now, he just changed his target to our Trapper, and once she goes down, the dome goes down so that he can make his quick escape. And that was the right move for him because we were destroying him at that point. He's too weak, and he eventually got away. He might have actually won this game, I can't remember. But this game really surprised me with its ability to balance monsters versus the 4 other people, and that's quite a feat considering all the different abilities. Like right now I'm trying to use the UAV unsuccessfully. But the beta, in my opinion, has done a great job overall of balancing all of these aspects, and that's really impressive. So the Evolve beta impressed me in a lot of ways that are really important, like how all the characters play, the balance. I love playing as the monsters, but there is one major thing that I'm really concerned about, and that would be content. So right now I'm scrolling through all the monsters. There's the Kraken, the Wraith, and Goliath, and only the Kraken and Goliath are available in the beta. But if you do the math, it's not that much to work with for a full game at $60. There's 3 monsters, each of them have 4 abilities, and that's it. I mean, you're going to unlock perks, but every game almost is going to be the same. Now, if you like the game enough, that's not going to be an issue for you, and there's a lot of diversity in how the game plays out, and there will also be a second game mode, which includes about 5 game modes in one. It's supposed to be a longer kind of game type. These matches last about 10 to 15 minutes, I would say. I've had some last as short as 3 minutes, but there is a lack of content in my opinion. There's 4 classes and 3 characters for each class as well. So there's some diversity there. It takes a while to rank up the characters, and it includes or encourages the use of different items to help with all of the unlocks, and you know, that can stretch your playtime quite a bit. But if you're going to be playing the same stuff over and over, I think it's really important to have a lot of diversity in the character selection. One kind of game type or game that does this very well are like MOBAs. Now, say what you will about MOBAs, but there's a lot of similarities between this game and the elements that make up a MOBA. For instance, there's a lot of PvE elements, like all of the wildlife running around, that can really change the tide of the game. They give you buffs. There's monsters that give you buffs in a lot of MOBAs. There's things like that. And this game does a lot of the same thing, where it encourages the monster to learn all of the, or people that like playing the monster, to learn all the different characters and their abilities so that they can prepare and fight accordingly. So again, a lot of similarities. Right now, I'm playing as the Kraken. It's actually my friend Zach. He had never played Evolve before. He comes over, uses the Kraken for the first time. I have never used the Kraken at this point, and he just somehow wins this after evolving to level 2. It's pretty awesome. So I might upload this full game later and use it to do a guide on how to play the Kraken and some tips on that. But anyway, again, this lack of content, I just can't see there being enough stuff with only 3 monsters and 3 of each other character type. Now, I'm sure that in the future they will add things, but I don't know if this will be through paid DLC or free DLC. They might have already disclaimed that. They're working on more monsters and working on things like that. But I hope that they add more maps and maybe make it free, because I think for $60 you're going to be stretching it here. So I definitely am going to give the beta a pass. It's so much fun, and even though I think there's going to be a real struggle with content, I think people are going to get through everything there is to offer in Evolve pretty quickly. I think that the amount of fun they'll have while doing it will be worth it. If you have your pre-order down, I think you know what you're getting into. I think you know that you want some new multiplayer experiences, and that's what you're going to get, just not as much as I would like. So we'll see when the full game comes out, how it holds up, and if it stays true to the beta, but as of right now, I'd say that it's a pretty awesome game, and I think that you'll do well buying it.